Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another, a thrilling edition. A thrilling edition.
A thrilling
edition of 9 Pitches. It's myself, it's Andrew, it's Tom Campbell, because Ross is scarpered.
He's only his mobs, isn't he?
He's never bloody here. Yeah, no. Oh,
who goes on holidays? Honestly, it's disgraceful.
First of all, it's Extreme Rules at the weekend. How are we feeling? Andrew, I'll start with you. How are you feeling about Extreme Rules?
I'm excited because it feels like it's back on form again in terms of we have stipulations in Extreme Rules.
Do we have weapons?
We do. have weapons indeed. Do we have Daniel Radcliffe there?
I wish we did.
I mean, it remains to be seen until the
Daniel
day.
Radcliffe clip. Do we have weapons?
Weapons?
People aren't going to... Anyway, you're excited though,
I'm excited.
Yeah,
I'm excited to see what's going on. It feels like the right direction that Extreme Rules should take.
Cool. Yes, I would agree with that. Tom, what do you think?
Probably the best B show that they've put on in a while on paper, and without a title match there. Like I don't feel like it needs a title match. Like the two title matches are the women's is the Raw women's and the SmackDown women's.
I think so. Yeah. That's the only two.
And I don't think whilst it would be nice to have a Roman Reigns or an Usos match on there. I don't think it needs it.
Fair enough.
I think you've got enough there that you can give a lot of time and a lot of love to, and tell some fun stories. And like Andrew said, it's the return of Extreme Rules at Extreme Rules.
It is. It
That
certainly
last year's was a bit embarrassing, wasn't it? It was just like, what's the point in calling it an Extreme Rules pay-per-view?
Well, now, you're right, the Extreme Rules are back, but we're going to try and make it even. We're feeling quite optimistic, but we're going to try and make it even better.
Crazy.
We've all brought 3 pitches to the table. We're going to go around in a circle. Tom, then Andrew, then myself, then back round to Tom. We'll go round 3 times each, and that will leave us with 9 wonderful pitches. The other 2 will vote yes or no on whether it was a good pitch or not. But the most important rule, of course, is it's not what we think.
It's what we want.
Ruined it straight away.
I'm normally late.
It's true.
It's not what we think's going to happen. It's what we want to happen.
Join us.
And join us as well.
Because Ross likes
Ross
the
does
song
do that
afterwards.
as well, doesn't he?
So
Does
I
bit
put a
of
little
Randy
bit in
Newman.
there. Yeah.
I feel like I used to run a tight ship. And now, with these naughty boys. Oh, dear me. Tom, could we have your first pitch, please?
Right, I've got a pitch for the Donnybrook.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
Starting us off. Incidentally, before we get into these, I genuinely thought we'd all come here and go, right, I've got a Bray Wyatt pitch. But I think out of us 3, I don't know. I certainly haven't got a Bray Wyatt pitch.
I don't have a Bray Wyatt pitch.
do.
Yeah.
I'm a basic bitch,
No, it's fine. No, it's a good thing. It's a good thing.
No, I'm glad at least one of us has. I thought we'd all be too polite to do one.
I think so as well.
It's time for the Donnybrook. Imperium make their entrance, followed by the Brawling Brutes. Now, as the Brawling Brutes walk to the ring, a very disheveled man who looks a bit like Pete Dunne jumps the crowd, starts manically shaking and talking to the Brutes. Something about a chop and the space-time continuum.
Okay.
Anyway, security take him away. Really weird bit, that is. Possibly a tag team. Anyway, the brawl starts. They go everywhere. You know how it started at Clash of the Castle with like bodies everywhere?
Yeah.
Straight off the bat, it's that. A 6-man brawl, no tags. Sheamus and Gunter clattering each other. Butch and Giovanni at the announcers table clattering each other. Rich and Ludwig Kaiser somewhere in the crowd clattering each other. They all get together in the crowd at one point. Butch lands a big old dive on everyone. It's all very Chikara, King of Trios.
Oh, yeah.
It's great. 2 men eventually make it back to the ring after a brawl through everywhere. It's Butch and it's Gunter.
Oh, yeah.
They are pasting each other. Proper, like, rolling back the years, those NXT UK days. Really going for it. Butch avoids a top rope knee from Gunter. That big old knee drops. Gunter goes for a running... Butch goes for a running drop kick. Gunter replies with a lariat. Just eats a lariat, does Butch. Then Gunter picks him up, wraps him round the rope, facing the hard camera, pulls his shirt back, wheels back, and a chop that sends a sonic boom through the arena. And everything goes white.
Oh, my God. What's happened now?
It's time for the Donnybrook. Imperium make their entrance, followed by the Brawling Brutes. As they walk to the ring, a disheveled man who looks a bit like Pete Dunne starts shaking down the Brawling Brutes. Don't know what that's about. Something about a chop and the space-time continuum. Very weird. They go everywhere. They've all split off. Sheamus and Gunter clattering each other. Butch and Giovanni at the announce table clattering each other. Yeah. Rich and Ludwig Kaiser in the crowd clattering each other. They find each other at one point. Butch has a lovely dive onto everybody. Very Chikara, King of Trios.
know, yeah.
Two eventually make it back to the ring. It's Butch and it's Gunter. They are pacing each other. They're rolling back the years from those NXT UK days. Butch avoids that big top rope knee that Gunter likes to do. And looks like he's going to go for a running dropkick, but instead, he eats a lariat from Gunter. Gunter picks him up, wraps him round the ropes, facing the hard camera, pulls back his shirt, and boom! Delivers a chop that sends a sonic boom through the arena.
No, don't.
All goes white.
Don't.
It's time for the Donny
No!
Imperium make their entrance, followed by the Brawling Brutes. As they walk to the ring, a very disheveled man who looks like a much older version now of Butch jumps the crowd and starts maniacally talking to the Brutes. Something about Gunter's chops and a space-time continuum. Who knows? It's really weird. Might be a new tag team. They go everywhere. 6-man brawl with no tags. Sheamus and Gunter clattering each other. We've got Butch and Giovanni on the announce table clattering each other. We've got Ridge and Ludwig Kaiser in the crowd clattering each other. They all find each other in the crowd at one point. Butch, does this amazing dive onto everybody. It's very Chikara, King of Trios. Two eventually make it back to the ring. It's Butch and it's Gunter.
They are pacing each other.
They are rolling back the years from those NXT UK days. And now Butch manages to avoid a top rope knee from Gunter. That devastating knee. Goes for a running drop kick. And instead, boom, eats a lariat from Gunter, that big old lariat. Gunter then picks him up, wraps him round the ropes, pulls back his top, and it's stopped by two men in silver who jump the ring and tackle Gunter and take him to the floor. It's Techno Team 2000. They were time travelers all along.
Yeah.
They give a little nod to Butch as they fixed another knot in the space-time continuum, and they teleport out of there. Anyway, a minute later, Gunter hits a lariat and pins Butch, and that's the match.
It's
weird run-in by Techno Team 2000 for no reason.
It was a bold one for the start of the video. But it's a yes from me.
Yeah!
Because my cheeks are hurting slightly. And I think, despite wanting to hate it, that's a good sign. So I think I'm going to give it a yes. My only issue is Gunter pinning Butch. But apart from that, no.
Yeah, just didn't get the run-in from Techno Team 2000 myself.
It was a clever mixture of a pitch and almost performance art in a way as well, Tom. And I liked it a lot.
You, man.
So it's a yes from me.
I was wondering how you were going to top the last time we did this together, the Bruce Hart stuff.
Oh yeah,
and I was wondering where and when Bruce Hart was going to turn up in this pitch. To be fair, I'll be quite.
There's always time.
There's always time. Yeah. There's two more yet, right? That might have topped it. That might have. There's some. I love me some Groundhog Day kind of stuff, and someone's kind of like, "Hey, I'm going mentally, but I'm replaying the same day over and over again." Tom. But you still injected the excitement. We knew what was coming, but the excitement was still there. Even more so as we kept going. Incrementally more excitement.
I may have had a fourth written down, but I thought you've still...
Oh my God, please. I mean, you can relay it now if you want.
No, it's time. No.
It's two yeses.
Two yeses.
Might as well.
Yeah.
Hey, in this creative WWE day.
Who knows what can happen?
Who knows what can happen?
Straight in.
That's true.
Who knows what can happen? Are we ready?
Yep.
Are we ready? Saturday night fight pit night between Seth Rollins and Matt Riddle is where we're heading to first, everybody. It's a brutal affair, I tell you, with floating bros and Phoenix splashes happening off the top of the pit. That doesn't necessarily add anything to the overall outcome of this pitch, but we're seasoning the steak of this one for good measure. Okay?
Ross isn't here, but he would have enjoyed. He loves seasoning and spice.
Spice.
Yeah, he does.
Obviously, we know that Daniel Cormier is the big old special guest referee in this match, and he's calling it down the middle as any good kick punch it's all in the mind man should, right? Seth, however, given that Riddle and Cormier...
name for MMA guys. Kick punch it's all in the mind guys.
Heavy wrestling background, but it's fine. It's okay. It's all right. He also does he can do the punches and the kicks. He can do all that. Yeah,
I love it.
Seth, however, given that Riddle and Cormier already have an established relationship through the UFC, isn't quite sure of the special guest referee, so he mocks him throughout the match, referring to the ring / fight pit / wrestling as a whole as his domain. Cormier just brushes it off as the match progresses. So, we get the classic bits like, the face, the palming of the face that Seth will do to Cormier after he's like, no, he tapped out. Riddle tapped out because you can only win by submission or knockout, can't you?
I think so.
But, yeah.
I can't remember. I don't know if they've established yet which rules they're actually going for in this one, but yeah, normally.
But Cormier, he doesn't lose his cool and respects the rules of officiating, gosh darn it, everybody. It isn't until the end when Riddle picks up the win that things start to blow up. Seth Rollins. Seth squares up to Cormier. But now that the match is over, officiating, it's done, everybody. Meaning it's ultimate fighting clobbering time. Boy, howdy. Cormier lays into Seth.
Wait. Was the match ended?
Yeah. Riddle picked up the win.
Riddle won.
Yeah,
Riddle
yeah.
did win. Now Cormier wants revenge.
Now he wants
right.
revenge. He's like, it's over now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cormier lays into Seth and locks him in a sleeper to put him out. Good night, everybody. Sleep time. Oh. Cormier is absolutely buzzing. He's feeding off the energy of the crowd and returns the mocking back to a limp Rollins. No one does it better. Whose house? My house. Trademark. Sorry. He's just.
I didn't know he said Soraya. I thought he said sorry. Just trademark. Sorry.
He's just reveling in the cheers when.
No.
No. The sound of a 2003 John Deere 4310 4x4 from Hatboro, Pennsylvania tractor dealer Little's, which is 50 minutes drive away from the arena.
Very nice.
Not that far. Can be heard revving in the background. Out drives a freshly shaven Brock Lesnar, who uses the tractor bucket to enter the top of the fight pit, right? The two stare each other down. And that seems to be about it. No, until Brocky dives. I'm thinking maybe even shooting star presses.
Like the one that Butch does in the crowd sometimes.
Yeah. Off the top. He's diving off the top. Maybe even a shooting star press. So who knows? He brings it back out for old time's sake.
Imagine he did a shooting star press.
That'd be pretty cool. Off the
cool.
fight pit.
Yeah,
There's more height in there that you can like do the rotation.
So. But he's also good. He's also like 15 years older now.
He's a specimen, isn't he?
Yeah.
Brock dives off the top and the two start just hammering each other. It's the confrontation everyone, has been waiting for finally. Because we didn't get it in the oofk, did we?
No.
The pit is lifted. I don't know why I wrote this bit. The pit is lifted and officials try to separate them. Bodies are flying. Triple H comes out. It's mental. Philadelphia.
James Acat. It's mental. Philadelphia. No, I loved that pitch. Yeah. That's a yes from me all day. I was relieved as well. There was a bit of relief in there for me because when you went rim, 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 I thought you were bringing out the Undertaker.
Yeah.
Because he loves pretending to be an MMA guy, doesn't he?
You want to go? You want to go?
And I was like, oh no. But Lesnar, I know people always go, oh, they're bringing back Lesnar again. But in this instance, I think that's when it's Lesnar and Reigns, which we've seen a lot of times.
Yeah, it's away from the title picture, isn't it?
Lesnar as a special attraction against like Cormier, I think that's fine. And I think Cormier would be well up for that because he's a big wrestling fan.
Yeah, because wasn't he supposed to be, I think I read that before he joined UFC, he was planning to be in TNA or something like that. Yeah.
Fair enough. So, I remember WrestleMania 31 when Rollins cashed in. There is footage of him in the crowd going mad.
Is there?
Like, whoa! Yeah.
Nice. So he loves it then.
He is legitimately a big fan.
It's
a yes from me.
Thank you.
Tom?
I'm going to give that a yes as well. Nice way to bring Brock Lesnar back.
Yeah.
Put me in mind of Backlash 2003. It was Lesnar Big Show. And Lesnar did that crossbody off the forklift.
Yes, off the forklift. Yeah.
In my head, I'm picturing that onto Cormier.
We want that.
I reckon, the stare down's lovely and all, but I just quite like him just diving on it.
Doing something mental. I feel like that's Brock now.
Yeah.
He's just a bit mental, isn't he?
Yeah.
He just wants to have fun.
He's just in his Trevor from GTA period.
Yeah,
he just does what he wants.
Oh, that's a great way to describe him. Cormier's kind of Brock of old, potentially. And Brock is kind of like Trevor from GTA, as you say. And I like the way that starts. And I think, you know what? That's a crown jewel match.
Yeah.
It gets us there in good form. In the real world, to be boring, like if this is a night where potentially Bray Wyatt comes back, I wouldn't burn a Brock Lesnar return as well.
That's true.
But I'll give it a yes anyway, because we're all friends here. We're all pals at the Palace.
My first pitch is a little bit more of I've taken a bit of a liberty here because I've done that thing that we sometimes do when we can't think of too many for the one night angles.
Yeah.
This is more of like a bit of a storyline.
Okay.
That's okay. So Bayley wins the ladder match against Bianca Belair to become Raw Women's Champion. We keep Bianca strong. We're in charge. We keep Bianca strong, though. There's interference from the lasses. I think by the lasses, I mean Damage Control. Maybe Bayley ties Bianca's braid around something before climbing the ladder, which I could actually see them doing as well.
Reckon so.
Yeah, maybe. Anyway, it should probably leave the door open for a rematch, maybe at Crown Jewel or Survivor Series, which Bayley should again win. Now we get to the Boxing Day Raw. I'm looking ahead now to Boxing Day. And Bayley comes out for a big Christmas celly. But as she and Damage Control are gloating, and Bayley's saying, there's not one woman in WWE can stop me. Not one. Suddenly...
Christian.
Yeah, it's Sasha Banks.
Of course.
Imagine if it was Christian. There's no one could stop me.
I outworked you all.
Yeah.
Outwork everyone. Brackets in the women's division.
Just here to say that I hate Jungle Boy as well. No, it's Sasha Banks.
Hey.
Out comes a blue sleigh. It's all Santa themed, but it's blue, right?
Yes.
And it's boss time. But then I Googled what Sasha looks like at the minute, and she hasn't got the blue hair currently.
No.
She's got brown hair, but I didn't want a brown
Wigs and
themed.
that.
Yeah,
Wigs and that.
yeah. You could have.
Yeah.
Whatever color hair she's doing at that moment, everything's that theme. And she comes out, and I've written literally, basically, Sasha's like, yo, I want a match against you at the Royal Rumble, friend. Because my thinking is, it's been too long now since we've had sick, well, I've actually written it down, sick class title matches at the Royal Rumble. The last one I can think of is Cena versus AJ in 2017. And was that even a title match? It was. But that's the last time I can think of where we had a big feature title match at the Rumble. I've said... I think we can all agree that the Royal Rumble has become too much about the Royal Rumble, and that's a problem these days. What is wrong with an excellent side dish now and then?
Oh, yeah, that's a very good shout.
Anyway, Sasha wins in a barn burner because Sasha and Bayley, they know how to have the good wrestling matches, and goes on to face Becky Lynch, the Royal Rumble winner at WrestleMania. Whoa, that's huge. Sorry, Bayley. She can win it back after Mania sometime, or maybe go over to SmackDown and feud with them over there. The other person who's been... is Bianca as well. I don't know what to do about her.
She's been doing some fair. She's been doing a lot over the last year, hasn't she? Yeah, she's had her spotlight.
Sorry, I feel quite itchy. Yeah, I got a bit of a. I think one of my hairs got in my eye or something.
That's a yes from me.
Thank you, Andrew.
Big yes from me. As we say multiple times, who doesn't want to see Sasha Banks back? And a match between her and Bayley. So much history.
Don't know about Naomi, like how she factors in. I should have thought about that as well. But
She could be the.
she could feud with Bianca.
She could do.
She could come along somewhere
Why
else.
not?
She could go over to SmackDown.
And then you can have Sasha Banks have one title and Naomi have the other title. Chaos. I'd love that.
Yeah,
That'd be dead good.
Well, it's a yes.
Yeah. Yeah, of course it is.
Despite the fact there's 9 pitches for Extreme Rules, not 9 pitches for everything
Tom,
after Extreme
Hey, we
Rules.
do this sometimes.
them,
We
it's
take
just
liberties every now and
I
then.
think my other two are both.
I think as somebody who roots all
My other
of
two are
their
both-
pitches in reality,
Oh yes, of
I
course.
for one am upset
Yes.
with yours.
Yes.
No, it's a yes. I like, you know what, you get from A to B, and then it's a nice way of bringing Sasha Banks back. I like the idea of her coming out on a sled.
Yeah.
That's a lovely time for everybody.
Pulled by what's like a glam version of reindeer. Reindeer are pretty.
Reindeer
swaggy.
are pretty
well
glam,
glam.
yeah.
You could
glittery
glitz
reindeer.
Yeah.
Antlers and stuff.
Mm.
That's not cruel.
Animal abuse.
That's what we like to
Yeah.
see.
What if they
They're
want
not
to wear
real.
the
They're not
lights?
real.
Well, I mean, yeah.
They're not real reindeer. They're just animatronic ones. that
Oh,
Sasha-
okay.
Or
It's
like
just like Brock Lesnar
or-
dressed up as a reindeer.
or Banthas, because
Oh.
she's a Star Wars woman, and
Oh,
the Banthas
nice.
aren't they the ones that
They
transport
are.
around
yeah,
Tatooine?
yeah.
Sasha
Bantha
comes
milk
out
and
on a Christmas Bantha. right?
I
There
like
we
it.
go.
Christmas,
Sasha Bantha.
Sasha Bantha.
Christmas Bantha with the name Mandalorian.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Amanda Mandalorian.
You can tell that I'm more of an original trilogy. I think the Bantha are more old. Are they just the big things?
Yeah, the big,
Like the
big
mammoths.
Yeah.
Bantha.
Banthas are good. That is the one. What's the green milk come from, Dan? That's not a bantha, is
a
it?
Are
very
you a Star
poorly cow.
Wars?
I can't even remember.
You Star Wars boy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I dabble.
I dabble.
I dabble a bit.
I dabble in the force.
Anyway, I'm glad I brought up. I wish the Bantha had been in my original pitch, but Sasha comes out on a Bantha.
Okay.
Nice.
Tom, your
well,
second pitch, please.
Bantha banter aside.
Yes.
Oh. Mine's going to dig a little bit more into the match that you mentioned that sort of springboarded your first pitch.
Right, excellent.
So I think it's a storyline that you kind of you briefly touched on and then moved on from. But I want to dig a little bit deeper into the weeds.
I hope
on
I
it.
haven't. I hope I haven't.
Oh no,
ruined
don't worry
it.
about it. This is no. It's what we want to have.
Okay.
It's fine. It's fine. So Bianca Belair, Bayley for the Raw Women's Championship. It's a ladder match. Obviously, a lot of extra characters at play here. Asuka, Alexa Bliss, Damage Control, Dakota Kai and Io Sky, and everyone gets involved throughout the match, as you would expect. There's one point during the ladder match that Bayley gets tied to the turnbuckle with her wrist tape. She can't move. She's tapped there. A little bit of a cheeky spot, but don't worry. Here's Dakota Kai running out with some Brutus the Beefcake novelty scissors to clear her away and get her back in the match. This all sort of ends up getting deep into the waters of this match, and we see Io Sky and Dakota Kai fighting away with Alexa Bliss and Asuka. So they're kind of done with the match. We get to Bayley knocking down Bianca Belair, grabbing her by the hair and tying her hair in the ropes.
Oh my God.
Tying her hair in the ropes, like knotting it up and tying her hair in the ropes. And Bianca's waking up to realize that she's tied in the ropes. And Bayley laughing her head off as she slowly climbs the ladder, realizing that Bianca Belair's got nowhere to go. And Belair's desperate, and Bayley's near the top of the ladder. She spots the comedy scissors that were brought out earlier.
Oh, yes.
To free Bayley. And Bianca, big characteristics, she could do this, has to make a decision. Does she cut her hair?
Oh, no. I've just realized, no.
Yeah.
Oh, I was just like, oh, she's got a solution. But
Yeah.
no.
Does she stand there and let the Raw Women's Championship pass her by? Or does she cut her hair?
No.
Does she cut her hair? She makes the heartbreaking decision with tears in her eyes to grab the shears and cut her hair.
Oh.
She cuts her ponytail off. Bayley, horror in her face. She didn't even scramble up the ladder. She gets out and you look what you've made me do, you piece of garbage. She lifts the ladder and just dumps Bayley to the
Gotta
outside.
go Super
through the
Saiyan now.
announce table, climbs up, grabs the Raw Women's Championship. The commentators going, look what Bianca Belair had to do to keep the Raw Women's Championship. This is what it means to keep the belt. I feel like now I'm saying it. I think this might be maybe the second time I've done a pitch that involves Bianca Belair getting her hair cut.
Oh, really?
I think actually, yeah.
A weird.
You're an old school wrestling guy, you can tell. You see
Yeah.
someone with long hair, you think hair versus hair.
Hair versus hair, it's got to go. So ponytail off, but Bianca Belair wins the Raw, retains the Raw Women's Championship, gives it all up for the belt.
I'm not sure what to think because on one hand, no. But on the other hand, I think you found a way of, because as we were sort of alluding to when we were talking about mine, she's done a lot with her reign already. How do we take it to that next level? But this would lead to like super destroyer Bianca Belair because she's angry now.
Yeah. This is like, it's where you think that'd be the end of the feud with Damage Control. No, because Belair is now like, you look what you made me do. I am going to break every bone in your body.
As long as they go all in on her as long as this makes her like more dominant and
I think, and that could almost facilitate a heel turn, sort of.
Not straight away.
No, not straight away, but down the road. I love the idea of like if I'd done pitches for Clash at the Castle. Like one of the things I always love is the idea that Drew wins the belt and then goes very Madness of King George.
Oh yeah,
where like as he's the champion, suddenly he thinks everybody's out to get him.
Yeah,
and he gets and that facilitates the heel turn. Whether you have that, like the cutting of the hair becomes like a mental turning point for Bianca Belair, and over time she starts to get a little bit. It's wild mentally.
It's a yes from me.
Thank you.
But at one point, I really thought you were going to say she sees the comedy scissors, and then you went and then you said she does. She cuts her. I thought you were going to say and she throws them into the heart of Bayley. Just down.
I like that I've now got up to a point with these pictures where it's like I literally don't know what's
anything.
The scissors turn into Bruce Hart and fly off.
I was just seeing it as like a quick time event in a game where she sees the scissors come into focus. And then you've got to tap
and
circle.
Gotta,
it's
find where it's at.
And I think someone like Bianca Belair, like I said, could almost do those visuals so well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Crowd are like, oh no.
What you gonna do, brother? I like it very much. I like the idea as well that if she does cut her hair, perhaps that can even lend itself to Damage Control and Bayley sort of playing mind games with Bianca, because even though Bianca's retained the belt, look what she had to do to retain the belt. Look what Bayley made her do. So I like that aspect of it as well, because I think there's quite a few paths you could go down. Bianca's phenomenal as she is, but perhaps maybe something to shake up her sort of persona a little bit now. You know, I think maybe we've seen everything that can come from this version of Bianca Belair that we've seen already for quite some time now. I guess, a year or so that she's been champion. So to shake it up a little bit, I'd like to see that. And I think that is it's a really interesting thing to do as well, because that is a huge part of her personality, isn't it? Like the hair is all part of like the branding of her and everything as well. So, it'd be interesting to see how they would go around like figuring things out again. It would almost just be like maybe like a reset for Bianca Belair.
A little bit, yeah, potentially. But then, as you say, because it's part of her brand, whether or not WWE would ever pull the trigger on something that heinous is another thing. But for the sake of pitches, it's what we want.
We're all fully yesed up at the minute. We've all got all the yeses. But Andrew, can you keep it going?
We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see. This one's it's a loaded one. I put it into little bullet points in that. This is my base like a bitch one.
Oh, yeah.
This is my Bray Wyatt one.
I'm excited.
Oh, okay.
So, obviously, everybody is speculating how it's going to happen, how Wyatt will return. If he returns, they might swerve us. But that'd be bad. Don't do that. It's got to be Bray. So, I've made a few points about how we could potentially go about this, okay? Right. So, a women's tag team title match is scheduled to be the first match on the pay-per-view. So Io and Kai versus Asuka and Alexa. Challengers lose, though, due to a combination of things. One, Asuka's damaged leg is an easy target, because as we saw on Raw, the chair on Asuka's leg and all the naughtiness things happening there. And two, Alexa Bliss just seems despondent during the match. She's hesitating, pulling off moves, hitting herself in the head occasionally as if she's trying to beat some thoughts out of her head. All those little kind of little nuances throughout the match. So after the match, there's a backstage segment, and that has Bianca and Asuka asking Alexa, what happened? What's going on? What's going on in the ring? Alexa doesn't know, but something just doesn't feel right. She's like, something just doesn't feel right. So she says she needs to go and check on something. She retreats to the locker room, and we see a shot, right? We see her go, and then the camera like pans out. We're going all like Edgar Wright, filmmaking stuff here. She's like, pulls out, and then we see like the back of Lily, but the head is like clean off Lily. Lily's done. Lily's done. So Lily's deadest, right? We get another impromptu match that's scheduled for the evening, and it's Dexter Lumis and The Miz. Finally, they battle it out in like a House of Horrors, haunted House of Terror style confrontation, right? It all takes place in The Miz's home, because we've seen Dexter Lumis like get involved. We like there's a camera cut and like, all this stuff's happening in my house. What's going on? And this leads to the match. And then it culminates with Lumis finally getting his grasp on The Miz in Miz's kid's room.
Oh my God.
He chokes him out.
This is really serious.
Right? It is, yeah. He chokes him out whilst he's sitting on a rocking chair, and he's eerily rocking back and forth, and he's surrounded, right? We pull out again. It's one of them shots. It pulls out, and we see shots of like there's drawings on the walls that the kids have done of like rabbits and all that. Maybe you even see a doll's house to the side that's got a red doll. Perhaps little bits here and there, nuances. So to speak. Nuances. Finally, we get to the I Quit match, right, between Balor and Edge. The Judgment Day get themselves involved. They're decimating Ray, who tries to make the save to the Rated R superstar. Possibly we even see AJ seemingly out there to make an attempt to save, but he turns to align himself with the faction to strengthen its numbers. The strengthened numbers, everybody. The Judgment Day swarm around Edge in the middle of the ring before the lights in the arena go out, right? Whoa, it's a trope. We've heard this one before. We hear the White Rabbit song play over the Tron, and we also hear some footsteps as well, right? There's like footsteps in the background. And with each step, so what I'm imagining, right? Imagine this, close your eyes. It's a dark arena, and we see the White Rabbit thing on the Tron. We hear the music and these footsteps, right? And what I'm thinking is, as we lights on the side of the, like the walkway that we go down, the footsteps correspond to like the lights getting closer and closer towards the ring, right? So the camera's very much focusing on that. With each step, we consequently, that triggers a light on the rampway that progressively gets closer to a rocking chair that sits at the end of the rampway that's just like rocking back and forth on its own. When the lights finally rise, we see 5 figures in the ring and five figures on the ring, in the ring, and one side in the rocking chair, all sporting. They've got those deformed rabbit masks. I don't know why I did that. That's a bit of visual representation.
I've opened my eyes now, Tom. I don't know if the lights have come up, but I don't know.
The lights have come up, I said, did I? No, I didn't. Did I? Yeah, when the lights finally rise. Yeah. So as the Judgment Day they can't quite fathom what's going on. The figures reveal their true faces. We've got Alexa Bliss. Yeah. We've got Dexter Lumis.
Okay.
Braun Strowman's back in the fold. Nikki Cross is there now. And finally, well, not finally, but out of the 5 in the ring, we've got Eric Rowan there as well.
Oh.
With Bray the last to reveal his face. The Wyatt Six are here because he's been doing this whole thing. The Wyatt Six, all this stuff's happening, right? Laughing maniacally, Bray just like, he opens out his arms to signal his followers to attack, only for the lights to go out once again. And when they return, there's only Edge and Finn in the ring. I was like, and then Edge manages to get like the crossface on Finn to get the win. But I'm like, I don't know if I want that because I like Finn. I want Finn to win. But you know what I mean?
Quit. He's got to say I quit.
He's got to say I quit. I don't want Finn to quit.
I don't want Finn to quit ever.
Ever.
No.
I don't want Finn to quit
Until you're old, man.
Yeah.
And that's kind of that's it. There.
Wow.
Mate.
Wow.
So there's a lot, and you've brought in a lot of other storylines into this one. So I'm thinking that going forwards, you're wanting like it to affect other things. So obviously, Asuka's like, well, what's happened to my mate and stuff. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Then I'm going to give it a yes. Oh, little burp. I'm going to give it a yes.
Little burp as well.
Tom, go first, please.
A little bit of extra.
It's a yes. I've done my burp.
Oh, yeah.
Carry on.
It's a yes. It's a yes from me. It's a wonderful way of sort of rebooting, retconning, revitalizing some people. And it's a great way of tying in some returns and stuff in a fun way. And I like the idea of Bray Wyatt leading a team. Like how the Bray Wyatt return will manifest, if it is a Bray Wyatt return, is one that is excitingly creative. And you know, green is not a creative color, but your colors are very creative.
Thank you.
And it's a yes from me.
One thing it's a yes from me as well, but one loose end not a loose end, but it's just that you made Karrion Kross famous with your predictions that time when he's Kross. I'm Karrion Kross, yeah. Well, I thought he would be in it. What's his? So Loomis has gone out there as like an early mercenary for the Wyatts. Like it was a sign of what was to come, I'm guessing. But Karrion Kross isn't involved.
I was thinking about this, and then I was like, I don't know if I want Wyatt to be, or like the team to be involved in the title picture. Because then we might get back into the same sort of rut where we usually get to, where, you know, you've got this supernatural force in Bray Wyatt and everything that he's putting out. Yeah, exactly.
And then Goldberg just beats
and then when someone does beat them, it kind of lessens the impact that they have. So I was like, maybe we go against the Judgment Day first.
Fair.
Everybody's going to be so buzzing that Wyatt's back in the first place that could like instantly, regardless of what he might do, will probably make him a face, at least in the eyes of the people, right? So maybe going up against another faction like the Judgment Day could be quite good. But then does that impact the Judgment Day if they start getting losses? Like I guess that's the thing that maybe I didn't tie together.
I think it's still a yes. I really like it.
But
It's great. It's really good. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
I didn't mean to sound like Bob Mortimer doing the train guy. My second pitch is, don't worry, this one, so my last one I did get a bit cheeky and just book a storyline, but this one's all in one night. This is a one night thing. This is one night. This is more of a development than a storyline. Okay, so we're zoomed in a bit. On this week's SmackDown, this is going out today, isn't it? So we'll have, this is before this week's SmackDown, definitely. On this week's SmackDown, Sami and Solo try to pressure Adam Pearce backstage for some reason, something trivial. Maybe they want a better locker room for the Bloodline, or it's just something, they're just bullying Adam Pearce, pushing him round, making fun of him. But then, guess who catches them doing it? Guess who's backstage at SmackDown this week? It's the game Triple H.
Ooh.
And he says, right then, lads, if you want to be such clever boys and try and throw your weight around backstage, how about you prove how good you are at Extreme Rules against two of my boys? And they're like, who are his boys? That turns out to be the Creed brothers from NXT. Just a brief cameo on the main roster because they've got their own stuff going on with Damon Kemp, as me and Tom talked about on the news earlier today. That's still very much a storyline that's rumbling on. But just a brief excursion onto the main roster for the Creed brothers, and they're set to have a Falls Count Anywhere match at Extreme Rules. I don't think any of the matches have that stipulation.
No.
And I want that to be like billed as like AEW do these kind of tag team brawl type things really well, where there's people in the crowd, and like similar to your Donnybrook one earlier on. So I want it to be
Shikara, King of Trios.
A big dive in the crowd, and there's going to be a huge chop. But as we see, maybe in a couple of segments throughout Extreme Rules, Sammy's really nervous about this. He's like, oh, these new guys are really big and tough. Obviously, Roman's like, you'd better win. So Sammy's under all this kind of pressure and he's quite scared. He's not really a hardcore guy. And then the camera catches him separate from the rest of the bloodline and he bumps into Kevin Owens, who says, you're scared. It's like you've forgotten who you used to be. And Sammy's like, oh. And Owens just walks off. All casual like. Match time, and although shaky at first, Sammy starts running a bit wild. Maybe I've literally put maybe jumps off a thing. He's building up a real head of steam. And in the end, maybe surprisingly, you wouldn't think this beforehand, it's Sammy rather than Solo who gets the win for his team. Obviously, he can't believe it. He's really delighted. The Bloodline celebrate backstage, apart from Jey Uso, who's still really annoyed about this. Sammy's still the lackey, though. He heads out to grab drinks for everyone or something. He's like, I'll go and get the champagne, ha ha ha. And he leaves the room, and on his way, he bumps into Kevin Owens again. Off the mic, we don't hear what he says, but it seems very much like Kev's sort of congratulating Sammy, but we don't hear what he says afterwards. He just kind of walks off, and Sammy looks just so conflicted and torn. It's just like,
my heart.
Nah, we leave it there. Yeah.
How dare you? How dare you?
I must know the yarn and how it ends.
Yeah. How this concludes, dear Jack.
I don't know. I haven't written it.
Oh,
The rest is still unwritten.
that's it's. Oh, sorry.
No, you go.
I heard you do a. You were gonna.
I'm just very breathy at the moment. I'm like,
it's gone. It's going to be very, very heartbreaking, right?
Oh.
When this finally all comes to a head, and I think it will be with Kevin Owens as well.
Oh, do you
I
think?
think that'll be the moment, like the Bezzy mates get back together. Kevin's like, "Hey, Sammy, look what's happening. You're a joke to them. You're a joke," kind of thing. And planting those little seeds just makes it even better, I feel like, because when it finally does happen, it's going to be a big moment. And I know that Ross is very much spearheading the movement of Sami Zayn potentially taking our belt.
He wants him to beat Roman.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? And if we want to make people believe, I feel like doing something like this is a very good way of making that happen. It's a yes from me.
Thank you.
It's a yes from me.
I'm going to give it a yes as well. I like it. I like how you just, it's just one of those things. It's like it's a B show. It's a very well performed B show. It's a B show, but you just add a little bit in there that kind of cements Sammy a little bit deeper into the darkness, but just a little reminder that Kevin Owens is dangling a metaphorical rope, and he's not quite sure whether he wants to grab it or not. And it just kind of it's a little extra caveat that continues to build what will be a great payoff. Will Sami Zayn beat Roman Reigns for a title? I personally doubt it.
Yeah.
But I think for me, the Sami Zayn moment is going to be, just off the 9 pitches for a second, is going to be whoever beats Roman Reigns, it'll be Sami that stops the interference.
Right.
Yeah.
To a phenomenal pop.
Yeah.
Huge.
A big Helluva kick to Jey Uso as Cody hits the cross. Right?
Yeah.
It's like, that's a WrestleMania moment. But I like how this keeps the gears a turning.
I think that the next step would possibly be that the Bloodline enter War Games, like all 5 of them, against like a team of babyfaces trying to stop them.
Yeah.
And Sammy's still, if it was to follow on from my pitch here, then Sammy's now still all full of himself and confident, but he ends up costing his team the match.
He has to lose.
He either takes the fall or accidentally like kicks Jey,
That's
and
always
then
going to happen, isn't it?
I think, maybe not my version here with Extreme Rules and that. I don't think they've even got a match on the card. But he's gonna cost them what years. Yeah, I'm scared.
That's exciting.
And the SmackDown afterwards, where they act like, hey, it's all right, Sam.
Oh,
no!
no.
It happens. Like Roman put his arm around him. It's all right. It's all right. And they're gonna leave Roman just spears.
There's just that tension. There's gonna be that tension.
It's amazing. What storytelling? And then you put Celine Dion's "My Heart Will Go On." Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Kevin Owens dressed as Celine Dion.
I was about to say Kevin Owens is a huge fan, but he's not. He's a big fan of, I think, Shania Twain.
Yes. As everybody
Another
should.
He's on board the
Canadian
Twain train.
Songstress.
She's got a new song out now.
Is Celine?
Yeah, she's back, baby.
No.
Celine's
Yeah.
French as well, isn't she? French Canadian. Sorry, she's Canadian as well.
Yes.
Celine.
I think so, yeah.
Celine Dion. Sounds
Dion.
right.
Hello.
But then Shania Twain's Canadian as well.
Kevin Owens is Canadian.
And Kevin Owens is Canadian. Is Shania Twain
I think
Canadian?
he just likes Shania Twain.
Dan's going to check. Thank you, Dan.
No, she's got a new song out now.
Celine or Shania?
Shania.
Oh, really?
First time
Canadian,
in
yeah.
ages.
Yeah. So
Yes.
she might not be French-Canadian, but Celine Dion surely is.
Anyway. That's who's in War Games. We've got Celine
She was
Dion.
born in Windsor. She's from Timmins origin. It says born in origin. Either way, it's Canada.
Timmins.
Ontario.
Okay. And Tom,
Canada.
thanks for checking there, Dan.
Thank
Tom,
you.
could we, I hope
Mercifully.
I hope Shania Twain's not involved. That's what I was trying to say.
Oh. Well, I was going to go a bit now. Okay.
Can we have your
Right.
third and final
Okay.
pitch, please?
All right. It's time for the Donnybrook.
No,
Imperium made
Wait,
their
no,
entrance.
No.
Followed by the
Yes,
Brawling
stop.
Brutes. And at ringside, we see UFC legend Chris Cyborg.
Oh, Chris Cyborg Santos.
Chris Cyborg's there.
Oh,
Cyborg's
okay,
there.
fair enough.
Big night for UFC. Ronda Rousey's in the main event
Yeah,
in
yeah.
my world, facing off against Liv Morgan in an Extreme Rules match. Daniel Cormier is there for the fight pit. So, there's a few sort of UFC names around, and Cyborg's at the front row. Cyborg had a memorable rivalry with Ronda Rousey,
Okay.
probably.
I think she had one with. Okay.
They had a fight at some point, didn't they?
I remember a rivalry with Gina Carano, maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know if they ever crossed paths.
But either way, like-
they are still both big, famous women's MMA fighters.
Yeah,
was-
they are of a time. Either way,
They are. Yeah, they are.
They're of a time.
It works still.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cyborg's front row as the main event gets started, and Ronda's kind of giving a bit of a cocky stare down. Ronda Rousey, she don't care about her, give a damn about her bad reputation.
Oh no.
And she's out there against Liv Morgan, and this is kind of as we expected, just like from the go. It's Liv Morgan just absolutely.
Sorry
going for
to
it.
interrupt.
No, that's all
I
right.
called her there. I went, "Oh, Chris Cyborg Santos." That was her. The name she formerly went by, and I'm worried I've insulted her there, and she's gonna batter me. So carry on. Sorry, Chris Cyborg. Yeah.
Yeah, she won't. You're too far away. It's fine. So Liv Morgan really goes for it in this match and gives it bells. Big spots from Liv
Right.
Morgan. We almost see a repeat of that dive off the top rope. And this all goes well. At one point, Ronda Rousey's in control of the match, in her pomp, and she sees Chris Cyborg and she just pie faces Chris Cyborg like that.
no.
Just pie faces her. Cyborg goes to get her, and security lead Chris Cyborg away. Like she's a fan. She can't attack a wrestler. Get out of here, Chris Cyborg. Cyborg's gone, and Ronda's like, "Oh, where you going, you rubbish?" La, 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 la. Liv's giving it everything here, and there's a couple of moments where Liv gets some 2.99 recurrings on Ronda. Ronda turns the tide. Ronda can't pin Liv. Ronda can't make Liv tap. Liv is just hanging in there. And so then Ronda, frustrated, stands up, looks around, and just goes, "Now!" At which point, the fight pit comes down.
Whoa.
The fight pit comes down once again.
You can't do this.
She just did.
Wow.
Now it's a fight pit, and Ronda is smashing Liv against the side of the cage, just battering her. The referee's like, "Well, it's Extreme Rules. It's no DQ. I don't know how this thing got down here, but it did." Liv somehow is getting back into this, and Liv knocks down Ronda Rousey. She gets a table pre-arranged in the ring. There was a table in there earlier they didn't quite use. Table's still in the ring. She props up a table and she puts Ronda on the table. She climbs up the fight pit. That big senton that she did on SmackDown, she's going to take it to the extreme at Extreme Rules. But Ronda climbs off the table, climbs up the fight pit. They're fighting on the platform. There's a hullabaloo at ringside. It's Chris Cyborg. She's back once again with the ill behavior.
Yeah.
She climbs over she manages to fight off security this time. She's like, "I'm going to deck that Ronda." She gets up the cage and pushes Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan goes crashing through the table below at the hands of Chris Cyborg. Ronda Rousey climbs down, pins Liv. 1, 2, 3. We have a new SmackDown Women's Champion. Chris Cyborg jumps down into the fight pit and then shakes Ronda's hand.
Oh, boo.
And here comes Daniel Cormier.
Oh no.
Cormier comes out and he's clapping. He gets inside the fight pit and he raises Ronda's hand as well. And the last shot we see is of all these 3 UFC guys standing tall. And from here, I mean, I didn't put a Brock Lesnar bit in there. So you could end this in 3 ways. So there's 3 potentials here for how you end this. UFC contingent, we win. Dun, 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 track to Lesnar. Out I come to beat you all up. The other one I had, which ties into the theme of the night, is they're all stood there celebrating. Buff lights go out. Spotlight on the stage. Little white rabbit hops out.
Oh, hang on. Was that your
My stomach
there?
is just going mental.
Hungry for white rabbit.
Sorry.
Little white rabbit just hops out onto the stage. And then you just see gloves pick him up. And then the pans up, and it's the Fiend holding a white rabbit.
Oh.
And then the crowd losing their mind as the show goes off the air as the Fiend holds a white rabbit.
Oh, there's multiple ways.
So there's a few potentials there. I didn't decide on any of them, but that would be if the Fiend hadn't turned up by that point. I think it's nice to end on going, oh, by the way, here's the Fiend. Here's Bray Wyatt. Thoughts, concerns?
Well, I think it's nice that, you know, the week after we lost the great Antonio Inoki, you've taken the booking page straight out of it.
I thought a little slice of Inoki would fit well into Extreme Rules.
Oh no, Tom, it's a hesitant no from me. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
What are your concerns?
I don't like the idea of Ronda needing help to beat Liv Morgan.
Oh, that's fair.
But on the other hand, you could totally look at it as the positive side of that, which is that Liv looks great now.
Yeah,
so
Liv, it took like 2 UFC stalwarts to put away Liv Morgan.
So I understand why, but I just
no.
I feel bad.
I appreciate the no.
I hate dishing out.
Then they go back in time. Is that better?
Yeah,
that was better.
There we go.
Got 2 yeses.
Hey,
you're
a no as well.
I'm not a no. I'm on the fence with it.
On the fence, surely.
I'm on the fence with it. Part of me would kind of like to see this sort of UFC faction get Shayna Baszler in there as well. Finally, we can like try and build up some sort of 4 horsewomen thing. She does the
Actually, what if I were to swap out Daniel Cormier coming out?
I'd be
Shayna
happier.
Baszler.
Oh, it's an instant yes from me, Tom.
I can't.
Yes.
We're gonna swap out Cormier for Shayna Baszler. Comes out at the end. I can't get Marina Shafir because she's AEW, isn't she?
Yeah, we'll find someone else. We'll get
Cyborg.
We'll find someone else. I like the idea of the fight pit coming down. Let's get silly and Philly, everyone.
Who was it who said that originally?
Philadelphia and Philadelphia.
Who said that?
I can't remember.
A wrestler said it, and I remember thinking that's really cringy, but I love it. At the
Let's
same
get
time,
silly
silly
up
up in Philly.
I think Paul Heyman would truly appreciate.
And that would be.
That's
And I feel like when you're in Philadelphia and you've got an Extreme Rules, you've got to kind of go all out, right? You gotta
all
go
out
all
to
out.
AEW.
No, stop.
Silly up in Philly.
He's thinking about it. He's finding it.
Let's get silly up in Philly, Chilly Willy.
The fight pit coming down, I think that's such a good idea, and I would love to see that as well. The table spot and everything, amazing.
Thank you.
I'm gonna say if we swap out Cormier for Shayna Baszler, I'm gonna give it. It's swaying towards yes.
Oh,
the speedometer is
the yosometer. I'm trying to find the silly Philly line as well.
I just saw the Usos talking about getting gritty in Philly, which doesn't
make sense.
rhyme.
Come on.
Someone said it before.
Let's get gritty and fitty.
Gritty and fitty.
Gritty and fitty. Okay, I can't find it.
I'm on the fence, but you've tipped it slightly
with Shayna Baszler instead of Daniel Cormier.
So I'm gonna say yeah.
Maybe it wasn't a wrestler who first said silly up in Philly. Maybe it was you, and I'm sorry.
I don't think it was me.
Oh, right.
I think I've robbed it from someone.
We should get over. Let's get Philadelphia in Philly.
I do like
that. Very good.
Someone's got to take a sign now saying let's get Philadelphia in Philadelphia.
Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I was gonna start reading mine, but I realized it's you.
That was really good.
Well, it's just building on Tom.
Okay.
Tom laid the foundations there.
I'm going for a final basic band.
They did a basic one,
Basic
Slay, Andrew.
There's not really that much build up to this pitch. It's just something I want to see because I think it would be very lovely to see in Philadelphia.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
It's time for the Donny.
So, I definitely wasn't trying to catch up to where I was reading there. We've seen Kevin Owens and Johnny Gargano reuniting Team Panda Express recently and having some pretty fun matches as well with the Alpha Academy. And I like that to continue just for a little bit more, please. I put thank you, and I was gonna do Chad Gable. Thank you.
No,
I won't do that.
Thank you.
Thank you. In their recent tag teaming interactions, the announce table has played some sort of role within all these shenanigans, whether that's people getting thrown on it, over it, people getting elbow dropped through it, stunners happening. The table has seen it all. But talking of tables and being in Philadelphia, why not let the announce table have a bit of a rest? And we'll get those B&Q pasting tables on the go, everybody, okay? Yes, long story short, I'd just love to see an elimination tables match between the Alpha Academy and Team Panda Express.
Yeah.
Theory can get involved somehow, maybe even helping the Academy eliminate Gargano, which would then lead to the heat boiling over between the two, because we've already got an announced segment for next week's Raw between Gargano and Theory. And not to mention how good Kevin Owens always is in a stipulation match and the great chemistry all these wrestlers have together. It would be a fun time. My think tank was running quite dry at this point. But it's just something I'd very much like to see. I was thinking, like, the announce table has played a big part in a lot of these interactions between the two. So I wouldn't be surprised if an impromptu tables match gets announced or something happens on SmackDown, because people have been crossing over here and there. Just a little something like that. I think Philadelphia loves tables.
Oh, yes.
So why not give them what they want, eh?
It doesn't have to be crazy all the time.
No.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
It's a yes
Just
from
a
me.
little basic boy.
Yeah,
a little basic boy.
You've done like the second task in British Bake Off.
Yeah.
Like the technical one.
Yeah.
And I'm giving you a Paul Hollywood handshake.
Thank you.
It's big,
A Paul Hollywood handshake?
Yeah. Oh, that's quite big, isn't it?
That
That's
is
huge.
big.
I was going to say it's a good pitch, but it's not Paul Hollywood.
Sorry,
handshake.
it's
Is
not
it like
okay, right.
a little like
You
affirmation from Mary Berry, right?
Yeah,
Like
right.
a-
Okay, yeah. Or Prue.
Yeah. Or
There's-
Prue, yeah.
Prue now in it, yeah.
Prue, yeah.
You want Prue? It's the equivalent of getting Prue going. It's quite dry, but it's all right.
Is she
like
quite
that.
is she quite hard to please, Prue?
Well,
No.
it's, a man doesn't reveal what goes on there.
Tell you what, I miss Sandy.
Yes,
Top.
I'm pretending I've had sex with Prue Lee.
I thought you were. I was trying to move on.
Yes.
I was trying to
Bake her
mask
off.
that by going, I miss Sandy Toxvig because I think it's too silly with Noel and Matt Lucas.
Oh, it's crazy.
What on
now.
earth are you Googling now? What's happened now?
Prue cats.
Prue is Prue. Oh, Prue. Oh, Prue.
What?
Okay, now Dan is googling Prue Leith
Prue.
to show us off a little.
That she looks like what?
What is she
there
on
she
me?
is. There she is. Prue Leith Cats.
Cat.
Oh no, Dan. Okay.
No.
She is not.
You are kidding.
Prue Leith claims or reveals that she drowned some kittens in a bag as a child. You did not do that, Prue. Come on now.
I drown her.
I can't
Yeah.
watch Bake Off now.
In a comment, Prue Leith reveals she drowned some kittens in a bag as a child. When asked about it, Prue Leith said, "It's not what's going to happen, it's what we want to
She
happen."
wrote about the traumatic experience, so maybe it wasn't her fault. Although that sounds very
That
much
does, doesn't it? That.
Oh my god!
I ain't having sex with Prue Leith again.
In a new memoir, I'll try anything once. You can't call it that.
Call it that.
I'll try anything once, even drowning some kittens.
You
in a
can't
bag.
make that up.
You can't. You can't.
So
Right.
her mum made her do it, or like did it with her. Okay, it was. She was 11. It's not really Prue's.
What?
You
not
can't.
really
You
Prue's
can't
fault.
write about drowning kittens in a bag in a book called "I'll Try Anything Once." You
it a go.
can't.
Now,
Come on.
Get that
having-
canister again.
Having dived into that a little bit, I feel like it was Prue's mother's fault, not Prue herself.
They can both get
Dan,
put
you
through
really,
tables.
what a turn this has taken.
Can I
That was
take a Gunter chop back in time?
No.
No. See that. Jeez. Prue.
We all three of us like cats as well.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Agent
just
of
says, "I
Chaos,
knew what I
Dan
was doing."
Heppel behind the screen. there.
Right, my last pitch then, lads. how do
Somber
on earth do
experience.
we-
Sam.
I'm just saying that this didn't happen under Dick Tubbs' watch. I'm
No,
just
it
saying.
didn't.
This,
We would have gone.
Didn't happen
Someone
under
would
the
have let us
Would've
know
gone-
in the comments.
This didn't happen under the Tubman
We'd have
administration.
gone like, Tubman, what do you think of Bake Off? He'd have gone, it's all right. Yeah, fine. But yeah, he does do that sometimes. Yeah.
It's like, is it?
So my last pitch, I'll be honest, we were running late. Me and Tom were on the news this morning, and I'd only written 2 of my 3 pitches, and I was running.
I was on the news with you. What was your excuse?
Well, I just couldn't think quickly. So I wrote my last pitch with the help of one of those like story generators where you type in you put in like, so I've done it for the Edge versus Finn Balor match.
So for those who want a reprise of AI Raw,
it's not quite as good.
it's not quite as good
as that.
But it's a little tantalizing.
It
sort of
wasn't.
like,
Unfortunately, it wasn't
those
really.
little 2-minute episodes of the Marvel movies that you get on Disney Plus.
It wasn't an AI one. It was just where you plug in the word. So it asked me for like 5 adjectives, 2 objects, 3 emotions, and
Ooh.
yeah.
I'm up for
So
this.
you'll see where I've tried to make it accurate, but there's some that just haven't worked in the slightest.
Okay.
Here we go.
Brilliant. Read it all word for word.
Edge looked at the sharp table in his hands and felt furious. No, it's a good start.
I mean,
It's all right.
it feels like it could happen.
He walked over to the window and reflected on his atmospheric surroundings. He had always loved raucous Extreme Rules with its wide, wet 20,000 WWE Universe members. It asked me for a place and a thing in that place.
Wide and wet.
I don't know why wide and
that
wet.
name,
Yeah.
Philadelphia.
It was a place that really encouraged his tendency to feel furious. Then he saw something in the distance, or rather someone. It was the figure of Finn Balor. Finn was an outrageous Irishman.
Wow, that's good.
Because I put Irishman as a descriptor, so I was hoping it would land there, and it did. With wild-eyed legs and rippling shoulders.
Love me them rippling Finn
I
Balor
love me
shoulders.
some wild-eyed legs.
Edge gulped. He glanced at his own reflection. He was a sneaky, treacherous maple syrup drinker with muscular legs and girthy shoulders. Loves legs. It really loves legs.
Did Matthew write this? Good.
Yeah. His friends saw him as an ordinary open opportunist, which doesn't. I put opportunist in and it put it in a bad
It nearly
way.
got there.
Nearly. Once he had even helped a frail little referee cross the road.
No, didn't say that.
It asked me for a vulnerable thing. So in wrestling, I thought, well, referees are quite vulnerable. But not even a sneaky person who had once helped a frail little referee cross the road was prepared for what Finn had in store today. The rain hammered down like jumping tigers, making Edge feel triumphant. Yeah, I know. It's raining like tigers.
On this day.
As Edge stepped outside and Finn came closer, he could see the ill glint in his eye. I am here because I want to make him say I quit, Finn Balor. In a brave tone. He slammed his fist against Edge's chest with the force of 5,529 giraffes. I frigging hate you, Edge. Edge looked back even more triumphant and still holding the sharp table. Finn, you should never have taken Dominic away from Rey Mysterio, he replied. It asked me for a line of dialogue. They looked at each other with pained feelings like two brief blue bears kicking at a very playful wedding, which had rock and roll music playing in the background and two silly uncles thrusting to the beat. Yeah. Suddenly, Finn lunged forwards and tried to punch Edge in the face. Quickly, Edge grabbed the sharp table and brought it down on Finn's skull. Finn's wild-eyed legs trembled and his rippling shoulders wobbled. He looked vengeful, his body raw like a bitter, breezy bag of wasps. It asked me for an animal and a... He let out an... I didn't know what order they were going to appear in, the things.
So much.
Bag of wasps.
We're nearly done. Then he let out an agonizing groan and collapsed onto the ground. Moments later, Finn Balor was dead. Edge went back inside and made himself a nice drink of maple syrup. The end. I know. What can I say?
It's a yes from me. It's a yes.
Phenomenal.
It's
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
So it worked out better than what I could ever have written myself.
So we're thinking cinematic match.
I remember, yeah.
Filmed in black and white, I presume, like avant-garde.
It asked me, like, what kind of tone do you want? So I clicked violent. That was one of the options. And they said, what kind of resolution do you want? And I also clicked violent. And it did. We killed him.
death.
So,
A
yeah.
death
And
is
then
really
walked in and
violent.
had a lovely cup of maple
I
syrup.
don't know where the wedding bit came, it asked me for a genre of music at one point, so that's where the rock and roll bit came from, I
Nice,
think.
nice. What about the bears dancing?
No,
what
no.
was that?
Well, it asked me for like 5 animals, and obviously the wasps were in there at one
Of course.
point, and the tigers coming down
Yeah.
like the rain. But I don't know.
the bears kicking, that was pretty good.
I didn't want the bears to kick. I thought it was going to
does?
describe somebody as bear-like, but it didn't.
No.
No, the wedding with 2 drunk uncles thrusting like bears, which I
mean-
didn't imply that I wanted a wedding involved at all.
How is this feud ever going to end unless it is with death? So
yeah,
I think
true.
you've come up with the perfect conclusion right there to really put a definitive stamp, a literal
Killed it.
definitive stamp
Yeah,
on this feud ending.
with a sharp table.
Is a yes from me.
Wow.
The sharp table was one of the most descriptive things I've ever seen. We've seen tables cut people before.
Yeah.
Can be very, very sharp. I think we should just do a whole episode, 9 pitches of just that.
Just the AI.
Just the AI
yeah.
generated. Yeah,
we should.
that
yeah.
would be very good.
Well, there you have it, everybody. It was 2 yeses for my AI help assisted one there.
Phenomenal.
And thank you very much as well to you guys for joining in
You're
with
welcome.
9 pitches there. Hope you've had a good time.
It's been
Had a
lovely.
lovely time.
Dan, he's had a good time
He's
as
had a-
well.
Yes.
Me and Dan went to the football match last night.
Did you have a
And
lovely time?
It was great, but it was only 0-0. So we wanted a goal. But it's all right. It was
Well,
all right.
good job. There's been at least 9 goals. in this.
Yeah. Wow.
Right?
So we've got, just a heads up. So Adam and I will be live reacting to Extreme Rules on Saturday night, which is all right for fighting. We're getting a bit silly in Philly. What happened at?
What happened at will be in the aftermath of Extreme Rules. Andrew, what are you involved with?
Nothing Extreme Rules based for me, but twitch.tv/Cultaholic on a Monday, 6 o'clock. It is the spooky season of October.
Oh, yes.
So I like to play spooky games throughout the entirety of October to fit in with the theme of the month. So we'll be doing that 6 p.m. BST. Come and join for a nice time.
Tom, have you got anything you want to...
Well, on the podcast feed today, I think right now, brand new episode of Desert Island Graps featuring ahead of Bound for Glory on Friday. Lest we forget, busy weekend of the wrestling. Impact Wrestling's Tasha Steelz.
Oh, very good.
Had a lovely chat with Tasha Steelz,
Very good.
who pitches some matches that she wants to get involved with in Impact, some more barrier breaking from the history-making Tasha Steelz. She's on later on today on the podcast feed. And otherwise, it's just predictions, live reactions for Extreme Rules this week. That's kind of keeping me busy.
Sounds very good. And I am on Twitch on Wednesdays. So by the time you see this, it might be on at the same time. I don't know. Every Wednesday with Owen, twitch.tv/Cultaholic at 6 p.m. British time on a Wednesday. But I'm not sure when this video is going out. So
at some point,
maybe
today.
Check us next week if it's too late. Leave your pictures in the comment section down below, and everyone can judge each other's. But play nicely, children. Otherwise, the boogeyman will get you. And thank you very much for watching, indeed. And we hope you enjoy Extreme Rules. Thanks, everyone, and we'll see you very soon.